guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing great, and today we are going to be covering a very interesting topic, and that is how you as an overseas nurse can register yourself with the Nursing and Midwifery Council and get yourself a job here in the UK. So I'm just going to be telling you guys the requirements that you need. I'll also be telling you the step-by-step involved in this whole process. I will be telling you the reasons why I specifically chose to come to the UK, and I'll also be giving you some tips that I and some of my friends have learned along the way. So I recently went on Facebook and I did a small video where I wanted people to just ask me questions they had regarding this whole UK nursing registration process, because I had been getting so many messages since I got here. So I thought if I just did a video, then it would be easier for people to just go back to the video and refer. But what I came to learn is that yes, some people had already started the process. Some had heard about it, they were not really sure what to do, and some of them were just clueless, and their friends were like referring them to watch the video, and then I'm getting all these questions. So I realized that I can't cover everything in this one video. So what I'm going to do is today I'll just be giving you guys an overview, the steps involved in the whole process, and then if you guys want me to do more videos like in detail of each step, you just have to comment down below and tell me which ones you want me to do, and I will do my best to answer them. Before we start, I would just ask you guys to kindly subscribe to my channel, because that really means a lot to me. All you have to do is click on this subscribe button that is right here, yes, and also on the bell, so whenever I upload the other subsequent videos, you get a notification on your phone and you never miss anything. Yes. So anyway, I'll start by telling you guys why I chose to come to the UK and not to any other country. So before, I was living in Sweden, and I was thinking about moving to an English-speaking country. Yes, English-speaking country where I would have maybe opportunities to advance my career, maybe go back to school, and I wanted to do it in English. So I started considering all these English-speaking countries: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the US, and the UK was actually on the bottom of my list, because before I went to Sweden, I was thinking about, moving abroad, and I thought of the UK, so I checked on their website, the NMC website, what steps are involved for nurses coming here. So when I went to the website, I checked the total cost of everything, and it was amounting to like 1,000 or over £1,000, which is really a lot of money. You can convert that. And at that time, I could not afford this because I was getting a salary of like 20,000, so that was really nothing. So I got the opportunity to go to Sweden, and I just moved to Sweden and forgot about everything. So when I started considering moving again, a friend of mine was trying to go to the US, and she was actually in the middle of the process. She was doing it from Kenya, and she started telling me the steps. To me, it seemed so complicated because you have to do the English exam. By the way, with all the countries, whether you're going to Canada, Australia, wherever you're going, you have to do the English exam, guys, because I know this is one of the things people are saying is impossible, but it's possible to get that 7. So she had to do the English exam, and then she had to do all these other exams, I don't know, weekly, and then like a major exam, and then she had to go to India to do some practical exam, and to me that seemed like too much. Then I considered Canada, which was worse because they told me that I had to go to school there for like 1.5 years in order for me to prepare to do the final exam of the Nursing Council there. The money was like several million Kenya shillings for the whole process, and that was just nuts. So I just said, no, I'm not going there. I didn't really consider Australia that much, or New Zealand. So I started thinking about the UK, and I went back to the initial research that I had done in around 2015. And then a friend of mine told me that she knows of this lady who has been saying that she has opportunities or she has chances to take nurses to the UK. So I gave her a call, and I just wanted her to tell me, like, just lay out the whole process and tell me, you need to do this and this and this, and the money involved is this and this and this amount. But she refused. She said that I have to go to her office first, or if I'm not in Kenya, I have to send someone and give them the registration fee so she can tell me what's, the whole process. Pay the registration fee first, and then we tell you everything. If you don't like it, the money is not refundable. So I thought that was just, I decided to do the research on my own, and luckily I found an agent in the UK, and they're not supposed to charge anything. Anyway, so just to list the reasons, some reasons of why I specifically chose to come here was because I was already living in Europe, and if I moved to the UK, then it would be easier for me and my friends to visit each other. The whole process was kind of easier, less complicated, because it takes about 8, 9, 10 months for you to get here, and then it was cheaper because the employers are actually offering to pay for most of them. So the £990 that you need to do your practical exam once you get here, the employer is paying for it. They help you, they book your flight, they help you with the accommodation when you get here. So to me that seemed really good. And for those of you guys with families, maybe you're married and you have kids, you can come with them and they help with the whole process. So to me this seemed more realistic. It very clear. I'll link their website down below in the description box, so you guys can just go over there and read for yourself, but I'm just going to mention them. So the first thing that you need is to prove your English proficiency, and there are several ways of doing that. Now they've changed things. If you're coming from an English speaking country where English is the first language, or if you've trained in a country where you are training in English and you've practiced some percentage in English. I don't really know about that because for me I had to do the IELTS before they changed everything, but you can check out their website and they'll be telling you clearly. What most of us did was the IELTS. Yes, and like I said before, you have to achieve 7 in each of the 4 categories. Again, if you guys want me to do like a more detailed video regarding IELTS and how you can get a 7, just let me know and I will do it. The other requirement that you obviously need to have is either a diploma or a degree in nursing, and then you need to have a valid license of where you're practicing. Police clearances from your country, or if you're practicing or living in another country, you're also going to need police clearances from those countries. Then you also need to have studied for more than 10 years before you went to nursing school, and they're going to ask for documents to prove that. Okay, so now you have met the requirements. You go to the website and you register, where you have to do an eligibility test, confirm that you're sure you have met the minimum requirements for registering with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Then the next step is to prove your English proficiency, and you can do that using the 3 steps that we listed earlier. And if you choose to do IELTS, one thing I want to say right now is that if you're choosing to do IELTS, make sure you register for IELTS Academic. And to save money and time so you don't have to do the tests twice, you're going to need IELTS to register with NMC. The Home Office, the ones that give you the visa, will require you to have IELTS for UKVI. So when you're doing the initial registration process, I just advise you to just do IELTS for UKVI Academic, because you're going to use that IELTS for registering with NMC, and you're also going to use it when applying for your visa. That means you save like 26,000, because the UKVI exam, someone told me it's 26,000 currently, 26,000 Kenya shillings. The next step is to do the computer-based exam. You do it in your country, whichever country you're living in, and you can book the exam and do it. The exam costs about £130, and it's a multiple choice exam, 120 questions that you have to do in 4 hours. Now you have to submit the documents, and they give you barcoded forms so they can assess them, and they give you the decision letter. When you're submitting the documents, you will be doing interviews via Skype. So when you get the decision letter, you tell your employer so they can give you the contract. They need to apply for a document called a certificate of sponsorship, which is similar to a work permit. So once you get your certificate of sponsorship, you apply for your visa, and you'll be submitting all those documents I said before. You'll need a TB certificate. They will refer you to an approved center. If you didn't do the IELTS, I think you need to do them at this stage. You'll be talking to your employer, so they'll be telling you about the accommodation here and how you'll get here. They'll book your ticket. You'll be received at the airport. So when you get here, you'll be working under someone, and you'll also be preparing for your OSCE exam. It's a practical exam, 8 stations. You have to pass every station. Depending on your employer, they will arrange training for you for the exam, which, by the way, is very, very important. So if you're doing interviews, make sure you confirm with your employer that they are going to offer good training for the OSCE exam. Once you do your OSCE, you pass, yay, you get your PIN number. So guys, that's the whole, that's the summary of the whole process. There's so much more that I couldn't discuss in this video because each step has its own details, so much details. So if you need me to do like a video for each of the steps, like I said, just tell me below and I'm going to do it. Don't do everything at once. Start step by step. Just find agents from the UK because they know what they're doing, they don't charge, and their services are perfect. Don't listen to people who are trying to discourage you. Be well prepared. Do the best research you can before you start each step. Just be yourself, know what you want, and go for it. I am so glad that you guys are watching this. Even if you're not a nurse, just share with your friend who is a nurse. Post it in groups, share with your families or whoever, just so someone somewhere can benefit from this. And yes, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't been on this channel before, you can also watch my other videos and also subscribe, which would make me very, very happy. So subscribe as well. And like I said, if you want me to do other videos regarding this whole UK registration process, let me know. Bye bye. I'll see you on my next video.
Good morning. Welcome to the Royal College of Surgeons Ireland. We are in Stephen's Green in Dublin, and we are here this morning with Maria Neary, the Programme Coordinator for the Overseas Aptitude Test, which you as an international nurse may need to undertake to come and work in Ireland. We are Nurse Jobs Ireland, and we are delighted to bring you this information, and we hope you find it useful in progressing your career in Ireland.
Good morning. My name is Maria Neary, and I'm the Programme Coordinator for the Royal College of Surgeons of Ireland, or RCSI, Aptitude Test for Overseas Nurses. First of all, to work as a nurse in the Republic of Ireland, you must be registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland, or the NMBI. And the NMBI is the regulatory statutory body for nursing and midwifery in the Republic of Ireland. you apply to the NMBI, you will undergo a full regulatory assessment. And one of the decisions may be that you have to do some compensation methods. And one of those compensation methods is that you must successfully complete the RCSI test for overseas nurses. So let's talk a little bit about this RCSI test. It comprises two parts, theory and practical. The theory part takes place over a 3-hour period where you will answer up to 150 questions. Each question will have 4 answers and you must pick the correct one. So it is MCQ or multiple choice question. If you're successful at this MCQ test, you will then be invited to do the second part, which is the practical, or the OSCEs. And the practical comprises up to 14 stations. It actually can be up to 20 stations, but currently we have it at 14 stations, where you will be asked to undergo certain procedures that are what we would expect the first-year staff nurse to be able to competently complete in this country. So you will have a wide range of areas such as drugs, medication rounds, standard precautions, IV sets, priming, prepping, maybe wound dressings, etc., etc. And there are great details about this on our website. And maybe at this point it would be worthwhile mentioning that the website is really, really important as a source of preparation. And it is www.rcsi.ie/overseas aptitude test. So let's look a little bit more at the logistics around the aptitude test. First of all, everything is done online. So you make your application online at the website, on the website, and you upload 4 pieces of information. You must upload your NMBI decision letter, and this is really important. You must have this letter, and this letter must be in date, and it must clearly state that you have to successfully complete the RCSI aptitude test. The second piece of information you need is the biog page or the photograph page of your passport. The third is a recent passport photograph of yourself, and the fourth then is proof of payment of fees. So when you have completed your application form and you've got your 4 pieces of information, you upload, you submit, we assess your application, and usually within a very short time, sometimes minutes, but certainly within the day of you applying, you will get your decision whether or not you're eligible to come for the test. Then if you are from a non-EU country, you must then follow up in relation to your legal status to come into the country. For example, your AWS, your Atypical Working Scheme Letter of Approval, your entry visa, etc. So you must really follow up on that. test. You will arrive, say, in the country midweek, say a Wednesday or a Thursday, whatever your prospective employer and you agree. You will sit the theory test on the Saturday in Dublin. You can only sit it in Dublin, you can't sit it anywhere else. And then if you're successful at the theory test, you're called for your practical or your OSCEs the following weekend. And your results of your OSCEs are sent to you on the Monday following the exam. So logically, let's look at that then. Say you arrive on a Thursday, you sit your theory test on a Saturday, the next Saturday. You get your results within 90 minutes. If successful, you're invited to the OSCEs the following weekend. And then on the Monday, your results are sent to the NMBI and to you. So from the time you arrive in the country until the time your results, provided you pass all the way along, go to the NMBI is about 12 days. So it's a very speedy process. We very much welcome people, really welcome people from overseas. You will be a terrific contribution to our Irish healthcare system. In the RCSI, we have a policy of embracing people, of welcoming them, of treating you with dignity and respect. So I would hope that from the time you arrive and you interface with the RCSI staff, you will be welcomed and you will be treated with the respect and dignity that each and every one of you deserves.
Hi, I'm Polly Adji, I'm Nurse Advisor with SureCert and I'm here today to give you a little bit of information on working as a nurse in the United Kingdom. So the first thing you need to do is to register with the NMC, that's the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and they'll issue you with your PIN, which is your personal identification number, which is what you need to be able to work as a nurse here. To get your PIN, you need to work through a series of assessments. You'll need to do your OSCE, which is an observed clinical exam, your CBT, which is a computer-based assessment, and your IELTS, which is an English language assessment. If you are from out with the EU or the EEA, you'll also need your visa. So best thing to do is to check out www.nmc.org.uk for information on registering and www.gov.uk for information on visas. And if you're struggling with any of this and you want to get in touch, contact me here at SureCert and I'll do my best to help.